watch out for this, please?
Welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. We are glad you are here sitting in the seat. We are glad you are here not sitting in this seat and online, maybe in a rocking chair or in your pajamas. But we welcome you online as well as in our community today in the building. My name is Nancy Hagman, and I am a member of this church. We had a minister one time that encouraged the service leaders to begin to talk about the kinds of things they do or are doing in a congregation. It always sounded to me as a good idea because we have visitors that come that have no idea how we're connected. The problem is I've been here 25 years, and I probably have served in multiple capacities. The latest in, I can't remember. The latest is actually cleaning out the catacombs of our congregational cubby holes that everybody thinks the church needs to have as they either leave town or downsize. They're sure that the church can use it. So we have spent an effort and really do appreciate the last few weeks of people taking home and finding new homes for many of the things that were on the tables back here. The tables are empty now and gone and cleared. So with that, we also need, and I will cover that in announcements. Let me finish. My pronouns are she and her. We ask that you silence your devices, even the ones that tell you when your medication is due or you need to stand up after 20 minutes. Just feel free to stand up after 20 minutes and move around. You are welcome. We do have visitors today, and we're glad you're here. Whether it's for this program or just to try us out as a community, no matter why you're here, for whatever that reason is, it's important to us to get to know you, and it's important to us to have you today and any other time that you visit and come. There is a pamphlet about us. Actually, if there were a pamphlet much about us, it would probably be multiple books. But there is a one-page sort of brief information about how we function and what kinds of things are our values and how we work as a community. There's also a sign up for a guest card. So if you would like to be on our email, we typically send one email a week on Thursdays. We also have a once a month newsletter, and you can get those whether you are a member or not. We do have presentations different every week. So if you like this one, fabulous. If you don't like this one, it'll be different next week. And if you don't like that one, it'll be different again. So every week is a bit different, and we welcome you. We light our chalice as a tradition of this congregation and community. It is the spirit of life. Be present with us in this hour. In this quest, may we greet one another with open hearts and minds. May we cultivate wisdom and compassion, and may all that is done and said here today be in service to love and justice.
I think this.
Got it? Good. Thank you. Okay. These are our opening words. We must shine. This is the goal toward which we stretch ourselves in our own time, at our own pace. We become gentler and more compassionate. We have been holding on and holding back. Enough of that. We are needed now, all of us, all those who feel a calling to be who we are, to our fullest, make a difference, to give it all we got, by Christian de la Junta. And I would appreciate it if you would stand and greet your neighbor at this time, welcoming each other to our community.
Announcements.
That would be great. You know, I have a list of the things I'm supposed to do in the order in which I do them. I don't do them at home that way either. I might do them first in the morning, or I might do them at 10:30 at night, or I might not do them till the next day. So we're lucky to have multiple brains saying that I forgot our announcements before we got to the end of the program. So we will do announcements. On behalf of the Caring Committee, you may have received an email about helping the Brockwell family. In case you didn't get it or need a reminder, these are notices posted in the lobby here, and you can see Laura Keith King, who is coordinating that from our Caring Committee. Thank you for any assistance. There are a few other announcements. We need grace at this point in time. We are changing what I would say the guard, but that's not necessarily true. July 1st is when we change boards. We go from the last board ending the end of June and the first board starting the 1st of July. If you happen to be hot, welcome. If you happen to like this temperature, welcome. But we actually have 4 air conditioners in this building, one of which is not very happy. So consequently, we are in the process of replacing it. Our cleaning service doesn't like it because they don't want to work in the heat. But until we get the air conditioner repaired or fixed, we will be warmer. So we have to be careful not to open doors because we also invite critters called mosquitoes. So be aware that we are short an air conditioner. You're welcome to take off layers. Please leave at least one on. We also, at this time, in the changing of the board, we also have to make a decision about the air conditioner, and pulling the board together from last year and this year, that is a continuum that will need to happen. So it may be a week or two before the decision is made and the air conditioner is back in working order. We also have a new assistant. I find myself sort of taken back at times. Rich works at the front desk. He's very consistent on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But we had the privilege of Honor working with us as an assistant, and they had been a member of our congregation, knew our routine, knew what to expect. Rich does not come with that history. So when you read the light and it's incorrect, I'm sorry. Editing it and having 2 or 3 people look at it is challenging, and also challenging for Rich ongoingly. We do try to have the information to Rich by the 21st of the month. So when you decide on the 28th that you want something in the newsletter, know that it probably or could not maybe make it. The roof update will be done weekly as we get it. As of yet, there isn't any information new. And we are still seeking a CRE coordinator. So we will do some centering music at this time. Please join everyone in our opening hymn. It's number 1008 in our turquoise hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. If you will stand, and we will follow it with the covenant.
When our heart is in a holy place.
remain standing, we will say the covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You may be seated. Thank you. Now is the time in our service when we turn off the video. Fortunately, there's a beautiful video that shows online for members and friends to watch the beautiful video made by Joe Vincent. And they can think of members here and the community at large while we are able to appreciate one another in real time here. We do not light candles anymore, as we have found there is another way that we can do this after we light our chalice. So we are doing it with stones and putting stones in the water, representing your joys and sorrows. We always put one stone in the water first to acknowledge all the things that are going on in our community at large and in the world, and how connected we are to things that are going on around us, as well as things that may concern us in the broader world. During this time, we are also going to celebrate Hollywood's anniversary with us. And so if Hollywood would come up first. Hello? Great. Would you like to present?
Sure. So you've probably heard about it in the weeks leading up to now, but today is when we are celebrating Hollywood's one-year anniversary with us. This is very special for us and for Hollywood. And so the church has a little certificate that we are presenting. Here you are, a certificate.
Thank you.
And this is a plaque that Hollywood designed, and this is going to go home with Hollywood. So there's another version of it on the community bulletin board if you want to take a closer look. But it's a lovely little memento. So let's just give a round of applause for Hollywood. And for anyone else who has been here for a year or more and has not gotten this attention, we love you too.
Don't worry, there's more for y'all.
I don't know about that, but we love you too.
Love you too.
Here you go.
Hollywood, did you want to say something?
Yes.
I figured you did.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it down a bit. I would like to give a sorrow toast for all the lovely loved ones and me. And we had a wonderful week, and I'm glad to see a day like this, because I'm happy. This is my time to shine, but everyone else can shine too, because I'm thankful that I see a day like this. It's like every day is a Hollywood day, and I had fun at the protest rally, but it was a march. And then I had a good time at the March rally prom night. It was wonderful, even though I wasn't that close to worrying about competition or nothing. But this is better than nothing right here. This is the life of a dream of Hollywood's dream makes.
Thanks, Howard. And now, for those that would like to share their joys and sorrows, can come up on each side. I am going to put a stone in here for those things that are on our hearts beyond the world, in the larger world, and a stone for Hollywood's anniversary. Not only are we a lay-led congregation, meaning that we are the primary organizers and structure of this congregation, but we are also self-funded. So we will pass the basket today, and many of the things that you will see on the screen, many people give through a regular app, or they give monthly or in some other way. But as a members commit to some financial support of our organization, but many friends do as well. So we will pass the plate, and while we're doing that, Hollywood has written a song and will be singing Born Again Transgender. Who's singing?
We're all going to sing.
Sorry, we're all singing.
The words are going to be up there, right?
I hope so.
And I'll show it to you guys. It's pretty simple. So it goes, it's good to be born again. And you try it. It's good to be born again. Great. And then, my transgender life. Let's try that. My transgender life is forming me. Over time, I'm born again. And then life keeps on pouring in. Die and reform again. Perfect. You guys, first try. You guys are naturals.
Thank you, Hollywood and
You're
Mike.
welcome.
This is an exciting moment for me. We heard not too long ago from Sunday's Child within the last year. It's a nonprofit organization. It is an organization that holds up the light for gay, transgender, and lesbians, all genders, and however you identify yourself in gender. And they support our community, and it's a nonprofit organization, donating either $20,000 or $25,000 to organizations that fit our values of Sunday's Child, but also fit well with the values of UUCP. So today I'm excited. We have heard about Emma Jones Society briefly in the past, but we are going to have a deeper dive now. We have two people that have received this grant from Sunday's Child, Chris Jajala and Lainey Gibson. And they're going to speak to you about the program, about what they're doing on video, how they're bringing it to life. And they are also putting out information so people can support and fund this particular project so that they can reach larger audiences, just where it began, from Pensacola, Florida. Please welcome Chris and Lainey.
Hi, friends. Hey, my name is Lainey Gibson. If we don't already know each other, I know I have lots of friendly, familiar faces here. If you don't know me, I am the current board president of Stamped Film Festival. Just out of curiosity and by show of hands, who here has never heard of or attended Stamped Film Festival? Then I really, really hope we see you this year. Stamped Film Festival is an LGBTQ film festival that has been happening here in Pensacola for the last 15 years, but 14 festivals, COVID, right? And it is made completely free to the public in an effort to keep LGBTQ content and community building accessible to anyone who would like to access it. So that is number one, Stamped Film Festival. Give us a follow online. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and we have a website, and you can come find me at any point in time, and I will talk your ear off about it. Like has been mentioned, this year, Stamped Film Festival approached Sunday's Child with a proposal for a project to create a documentary short highlighting the history of the Emma Jones Society, which I'm happy to hear you might have already briefly heard about, but it is an underrepresented part of Pensacola's LGBTQ plus history. I would like to acknowledge that here today is Stonewall Day. It is the 57th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising in New York City. So to just acknowledge and take a moment to recognize all of the queer people and transgender people and drag queens, predominantly those of color, that fought back against police brutality at Stonewall. And we need to remember them always, but especially today. Every day. But what we're talking about, what the Emma Jones Society, where it originated, what we're making this documentary about, actually was happening here in Pensacola in an East Hill living room more than a decade before Stonewall. And that's part of why this history is so significant. When people think of Pensacola, when people think of Northwest Florida, they don't think about, the LGBTQ resistance was really happening there in mid-century America. Oh no. Ooh, did I do that or did she do that? Okay, it wasn't me. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our project. Thank you. It wasn't on. That's a very me problem. We're going to tell you a little bit about the project that we pitched to Sunday's Child and that they agreed to fund. Again, our goal here is to make a documentary short about the Emma Jones Society and how it eventually connected into what we know today as our very large and proud Pride celebration on Pensacola Beach during Memorial Day weekend. Oh, great idea. I love a free microphone. So the untold story of Pensacola and what we did here years before Stonewall. This image that you see here is actually an archival image from some photo albums that were donated to an historian named Jay Watkins as he was working on his doctoral dissertation many years ago, that then got turned into a book called Queering the Redneck Riviera. So I love this image because I think it really sets the tone for what we're talking about. Now we celebrate Pride on the beach during Memorial Day weekend, but the origin story sort of began on 4th of July weekend because it's just a great holiday weekend in the summer. And so there's some cheekiness, there's patriotism, there's we belong here too, and that is one of my favorite things about this story. My eyeballs. All of the images that you see in this slide deck are archival images from these photo albums. So to give us sort of the background, right, what was happening. It was dangerous to receive LGBTQ materials in the mail because that would be outing yourself, identifying yourself to your neighbors, to your local government as someone who is receiving materials that are by nature obscene. So people who were scared for their reputations, their jobs, etc., namely these two that we'll be talking about today, Ray and Henry Hillier, decided we should get a P.O. box under a fake name. The name they chose was Emma Jones. The reason they chose that name, per their own report, was Jones because it is so common, and Emma because it was so awful. No offense to anyone named Emma. I don't know what their beef was with the name Emma, but they had one. And they would have a friend go to this P.O. box and check it once a month, and then meet with themselves and their friends in their East Hill living room to share these materials. Distributing them to each other and building community. And so that's really what this is all about, right? Like the power of gathering in groups in an effort to build community and to lean on each other. That grew and grew and grew into, again, what if we had a really big beach party? And what started as a local really big beach party eventually became advertised in some of these men's magazines that were being distributed nationally. And then it got really big. And then the government said, hey, we don't like that. That doesn't represent our values. And then we said, hey, don't you like this money though? And they said, actually, we do. And that is part of the persistence of this story is groups of people gathering in the face of oppression and sort of using capitalism against itself to keep doing it. Another great photo, this photo of a drag pageant. Again, you see the Navy uniforms, the patriotism, the Statue of Liberty. This was in the conference room, or one of the many ballrooms of the Hotel San Carlos in downtown Pensacola. And so as the party got bigger and bigger and bigger, they decided to become more official. The Emma Jones Society as an official entity was born, and these Emma Jones conventions were all over downtown, were in the Hotel San Carlos, and then obviously continued to be a party on the beach. I'm gonna let Chris, this is Chris Stradala, he's gonna introduce himself more thoroughly with all of his credentials. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit more about the actual production of the documentary, the style, and the things that we're hoping to turn into a visual story.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Stradala with Calliope Films. At the end of the day, we're storytellers. So the challenge now is how to tell a story in the most effective way possible. And also, especially right now, it's so important that we're telling these stories. So many stories very similar to the Emma Jones Society, I'm sure, have long been forgotten and now cannot be told and now cannot be shared. And this is one of those stories that we feel obviously is very important to be told and shared and explained. It's kind of crazy that it has not been told in a big way. I learned about it as I was being brought on to this project. So as far as the style, how we want to approach it, again, we live in a time where there's so much content to be consumed. So unfortunately, we have to fight for that attention. We have to fight for those eyes. And with that, we're doing it with really fun visuals. We had a really great shoot at Memorial Day Beach weekend, which went to Dorothy's and Cabaret.
You might have seen us there, and by seen us, I mean seen Chris with a massive camera rig over his shoulders, just like running back and forth up and down the beach.
Oh yeah, and just pushing through the crowds. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the footage is electric. I mean, I can't wait to share it. The images by themselves are powerful, but we have been given this awesome opportunity to now take those images and tell a story that can hopefully span time and be bigger than us and hopefully do some good. Next slide. Is this me or you?
It could be either. This is really just about the style of the documentary, right? So we've all seen what are sort of known as talking head documentaries. That is person in a chair with a camera on them telling a story. And while we love that very much, I think all of us here can appreciate that this story and the stories that resonate with, I can guess, probably all of us, are a little bit more, Chris used the word electric, than talking head interviews. So we have this incredible archival material, and we're also working to film these interviews in community spaces in ways that are that visually represent how powerful and fun this story really is.
So yeah, currently, so this is unfortunately video production is just one of those things that it is just expensive. So it's kind of a complicated situation we're in because we're going to make this no matter what. This is a story that has to be told. There's no amount of finances we're waiting on to make the story. Sunday's Child has been gracious enough to kick us off and get it going. However, we do have expansive ideas that involve, again, going back to those talking head interviews. That's been a big conversation with this because while interviews are the lifeblood of documentaries, we always see those, you know, it can get a bit tiresome or kind of played out. And this story is by no stretch something that is played out or boring. This is something, it was fighting back. There was so much going on, and we wanted to find a new way to do that. So, however, in order to get to that next level, we are looking for funding. Basically, any funding that will come to us will go to paying local production people, local actors, local performers, because one of the ideas we're kind of toying around is filming these interviews and kind of doing reenactments with those stories and potentially using the folks from the interview or bringing on characters. That way, like these interviews feel a bit more alive, because sometimes when you just hear someone say something, it's not as powerful as when you see what they were actually up against. So there's been a lot of documentaries that have been inspiring this kind of push. But unfortunately, in order to do it and to do it right, we want to support the production community and pay them for their time and bring them out. So that's, that is the next level. Obviously, we have lots of dreams for this project. We're going to get this short underway. We're going to get it at festivals. It's going to premiere at the Stamped Film Festival. So please come
November,
out, check
mark
it
your
out.
calendars.
Here we go. Yeah, so we already got into one festival. That's pretty exciting, right? Stamped. So Stamped has taken us in. Thank you. And we're going to do a national push, global push rather, with this film, get into many festivals as we can. And of course, long-term goal is to turn this into a feature film, which we're already planting seeds to make that happen. So really what's going to give us the best foot forward is if we have a really powerful short to kind of showcase what we can turn this into. With that being said, the goal is not to make a feature right now. The goal is to make this short the best possible thing we can make. We're not going to get distracted by that big goal in order to and overlook this beautiful opportunity that we have right now. However, if we can make something powerful, show these images like we want, bring the people together. And it's awesome because every time we bring someone in, even talking to folks on the beach on Memorial Day, they don't know this story. And that's such a tragedy. So this story needs to be told. This needs to be shared. And the more support we have, the grander we can tell this story, which is just going to bring more eyeballs because we got some big competition. Everyone is making really beautiful content because it's much easier to do that now. And so we need to make something grand to grab that attention and tell the story that somehow has not been told.
Telling the story, but telling the story using a visual medium. I think that's what's really, really cool about this project. The very first interview that we captured was with Dr. Jerry Watkins. That's who I mentioned. He grew up in Panama City. He's now a professor at the College William & Mary. He's an historian. Right now, he's deep in the world of theater history. But before he moved on to that in his professional life, it was all about LGBTQ history here on the Gulf Coast. So we got him to come in for an afternoon, and we hung out in the studio for way too long because we all just really enjoy talking to each other, and got a wonderful interview with him. We have some other subject matter experts lined up that we would like to interview, and then we're also interviewing community members. So the people who are this is one of the things about telling these stories and about Joe is here. I shouldn't talk about this in front of him. He should tell you about it. This is one of the things about history is that while it's living, we have to capture it. And so our community members who were an active part of the Emma Jones parties and who remember the police raids at the Yum Yum Tree, and who my good friend David Richburg, if you know him, you know he's a very electric person. He has an incredible story about drag queens driving over the 3 Mile Bridge to go from party to party and to get out to the beach. And I just think it's really incredible that Pensacola has this vibrant history, and to be able to capture that through a visual medium, something that goes beyond Dr. Watkins' book, which is wonderful, but it lives on the page. We would love to make this in a format that is accessible to people who are attending film festivals across, the United States, and to really demonstrate to people what Pride in Northwest Florida can look like.
And not to derail us too much, but I do want to quickly say, coming here today, I've been very inspired by all of you here, and especially the folks that came up and shared. Really was quite moved today. It was a pleasant and lovely surprise to be in this awesome room with all of you awesome people. But I also want to share that the sharing of those stories, what you did today, and you had me in my seat, tears pouring out of my eyes, and I don't know anyone in this room. That is the power of storytelling. That is the power of you sharing what you're going through, and that is what we are trying to do with this project. Share those stories, before, they can't be shared anymore, before they're altered anymore. And that's, exactly, talking about the Stonewall Uprising. If I may, I would like to put a stone in the water, remembering that, their pain, what they had to go through, and now that we're here now, and we're still able to fight for it. So let's talk about money.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Anyway, so
this feeling that's happening right now is the thing that we're really here to talk about. The other stuff is secondary. Like Chris said, this is getting made no matter what. There are members of Sunday's Child in the room, and being selected as a recipient of a Sunday's Child grant was an incredible gift. So just being here and this feeling that's happening right now is what we're trying to let this documentary create for everyone who gets to see it.
As you can see, the story is obviously very powerful, and these emotions are just, I think just for everyone right now, they're just palpable with everything happening. You say one thing and then you start crying. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So yes, this is what we're looking for. This is not a requirement to be involved. But obviously, as we go forward, these are the credits we're offering. Any of these donations would be obviously incredibly appreciated, but we also have other ways you can donate through the Stamped website. You can go there and donate however you can. If you're interested in one of these, see us after the show. I would like to, invite you to our office and make sure we do it properly. We can write up, we have contracts prepared for this, things like that, to make sure that we're taking care of you and make sure that we have everything, all of our, T's crossed and I's dotted. But yes, if you would like to donate, you can either reach out to Lainey or reach out to me. Her email will be on the next screen, I believe. One of these screens, it's up there somewhere, I promise. But feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to get you involved. And then, of course, if the project does go forward into the future, as far as the feature film goes, if you order now, then you'll be obviously up for the first round for that feature film. So yeah.
So you can see on the left side here, this is the other side of that program that we saw on the first slide, signed from Ray and Henry. Those are the Hilliers who lived in East Hill, and then the other founders of the society, Pete and Wayne. Let's Get Together in Pensacola was sort of the reigning theme of the parties and the conventions for a long time. A little bit more about Stamp Film Festival, just because I feel like this is a bit of our history that people don't know. The origin of our name is from an act of queer joy and resistance in one of those moments that local governments said, hey, we don't know if we like this anymore. We're becoming known as a gay hotspot. We're good Southern people. And so the owners of local gay bars, members of the community, all decided to stamp their dollars with the words gay money. Yeah. And over one weekend, so one of these large tourism weekends, Memorial Day weekend in the 1990s, so we have to think about the fact that this is 1990s money, not 2026 money. Christopher Street South estimated that gay money that circulated was somewhere around the neighborhood of $19 million in one weekend through the local economy. And so beyond celebration of community, people being together, that is part of what we're trying to highlight here, and hopefully something that will be powerful for some of the powers that be and decision makers in communities like ours, that we have a voice and it matters, and we also are people that participate in all ways in our communities, including economically. Yeah. That's again just a big thank you to Sunday's Child. Some more about their mission. Like I said, many Sunday's Child members are in the room. I am one also. I love that organization. Anybody that saw it, Queering Spaces was a brief exhibit at the UWF Historic Trust. Unfortunately, it was in the year 2020, so very few people saw it in small groups of 5 at a time, but I know some of you saw it. I was part of the community curation team for that project. It was sort of the first, hey, let's take these archival photos and put them in a place that people can see them and access them, because they're not doing anybody any good sitting in a closet. Pensacola needs to know that this is what their community built, so that that history can continue to live and not decompose in a closet. So this is my contact information here at the bottom. Again, my name is Lainey Gibson. I'm sure that you will have access to these slides. You can also just come up to me and I will give it to you. And then we have, I thought we had one more slide, but that's fine. You can go to the homepage of stampedfilmfest.com. There it is. You can go to the homepage of stampedfilmfest.com. There is a button there that says support the fest. Any funds of any amount that come through that portal today, because we are doing this presentation today, will just be earmarked to go directly into this project. Ordinarily, those go into our larger budget, and we use it for the execution of our festival and all of the other wonderful things that we do. But because we are, as Chris mentioned, trying to expand what we're able to do in terms of production with this project, and because we were so graciously invited here and welcomed here, that is one way to support. And like Chris said, any other ways we can exchange contact information and talk about ways to do that.
Amazing. Thank you guys for your time. Is there anything else we feel good about?
That's it. That's it.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
We have guest speakers, and since we don't pay guest speakers, we share the love through a mug. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I'm just gonna grab this water. I got water and a mug.
You know, it's a challenge to ask somebody that's behind the camera all the time to come out and share with us, because people that are behind the camera, as Chris, has the ability to have his emotions tucked in any way he wants. And then when he comes out in public, we have the privilege of seeing it. And isn't it beautiful? Thank you very much, Chris and Lainey, for both of you sharing about heartfelt passion. And now, if you will stand, we will sing our closing hymn, written by Rivka and Mike Kilmer. chalice, I ask the question, why community? And it's to remember, each of us brings a separate truth here. We don't come as empty vessels, but as full people, each with our own story and our own truth. All manner of people are here, needy, joyful, frightened, anxious, bored. May we all recognize the truth and the story in others' lives than our own. May we hear and honor the truths that we all bring as we gather together. Together we have truths. Together we have a story. Together we are a community. Go in peace.
I think I may have been in the